Good evening, everyone. My name is Ameshwar. I welcome all of you on behalf of Art of Living Organization to योग वाशिष्ठ इवनिंग सेशन। नमस्ते, मैं सोमेश्वर आप सभी का आर्ट ऑफ लिविंग संस्था की तरफ से योग वाशिष्ठ के सायंकाल के सत्र में स्वागत करता हूँ। टुडे वी आर ऑन 134th सेशन। आज हम लोग 134वें सत्र में यहाँ पे पहुंच चुके हैं। We'll begin our session by chanting Om 3 times. Our today's topic is that we come across something called as ego, that ego sense, and if we are supposed to drop that ego sense to reach to ourselves. It is that ego, it is that carrying various identities, it is that feeling of separateness does not allow us to become one with the consciousness, to become one with yourself. So if one drops this ego, can they still survive? If so, how? So that would be the topic. And we have heard about many different universe, parallel universe. We have heard about the different aliens, etc. These things we keep hearing. What are the possibilities of that? Is there any such possibility that will also come? So this is, we start with something called as Pashana Akhyan. This is a 107th chapter in this book called Pashana Akhyan. So we'll look at it and let us see what is it there, what knowledge that comes out from this chapter to us. But for now, let's all sit comfortably. Aram se baith jaye. Once again, I welcome all our Zoom participants, all our YouTube viewers, and all our Facebook viewers to today's session. Let's sit comfortably and close your eyes. Aram se baith jaye. Make your spine erect and shoulders relaxed. Let us bring back our attention to our breath. Observe the sensations and the flow of the breath. Take a normal breath in and let go. Take one more deep breath and let go completely. Breathe in for the Omkar chanting. Let us invoke the divinity within. Guru का आवाहन कर ले. आवाहनम पुनः पुनः सच्चिदानंद रूपोऽहम् Shivoham, Shivoham, Shivoham. Let's express our gratitude towards the Master. Guru Vandana kar le. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Deva Maheshwaraha, Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Shri Gurave Namaha. Let us pray to the Master. Whatever the words that come out of this mouth, whatever the actions that are happening, whatever the thoughts over onto this mind, and the power of discrimination arise in our intellect. The impressions that might be getting created on the memory, if you are allowing them to happen. And if still there is an iota of that I, me, let all these known and unknown levels of our existence be inspired by the Master alone. Pray like this. If you have already experienced that there is nothing that can bind you, and if there is a feeling of that liberation, that mukti, moksha, then let this remaining life continue like a Jivan Mukta. That also be inspired by the Master alone. Pray like this. Feel the presence of that Master within and outside. And slowly and gradually you may open your eyes. धीरे धीरे अपनी प्यारी सी आंखें खोल सकते हो. Jai Gurudev, let's continue with our today's session. Today we are starting with something called as Pashana Akhyan. This is a new Akhyan. Akhyan means the story of Pashana Akhyan. So that is how we have seen multiple such stories via using which those stories Vaashishtha Muni continue to guide Rama, unfold many different ayam, different aspects of our being and aspects of this entire universe. So here Vaashishtha Muni says that Rama, if you look at a tree and if you see there are many branches, and if these branches carry some impressions around them, and if you look at, there is this moon, that moon is appeared in the same, while looking at these both the things and while shifting your drishti, your vision from the branch of the tree towards the moon, in between those two vrittis, in between something which is there, that sthiti, that shifting from one vichara to another vichara, in between that, shifting from one vision, one drishya to another, in between that is what is Chaitanya, that is what is that Swarupa, into the Madhya Akasha, in between something, in between that shift that happens, in between that, you have taken a breath, and the another thing, that exhalation is yet to start, in between that, You have already exhaled and the next birth is yet to start. In between two words, in between two movements, in between all these things, that Madhya Avkasha, that thing, that is what there exists, that is what is Nirvishaya. It is free from all the outgoing tendencies of your senses. It is free from all this. That is where one can experience that Brahma. It is there one can experience that Shiva, because it is beyond all these words, beyond all these meanings of the word, beyond all these vastus, all the things that we see around. It is something beyond that. Like that point of time, this Jagat, this universe, that thing, whether it is there or not there, it becomes immaterial. That hallucination, that drum is completely eliminated out of your system. Let me tell you this with one more example. He says that if you look at this Atma Samvida, this Atma is there, that Samvid is there. Samvid means what? Awareness, that jani, that awareness is there. In one moment, in one kshan, ek kshan mein, that Samvid can reach to thousands of yojans. No, it can, that awareness can spread. No, so it takes few seconds for the sunlight to fall here, no, to come from there to reach to this earth. But this awareness, it can, in a moment, it can spread to thousands of miles and all that. So like that, in just one image, in just one moment, it can all happen. But in between that also, what is the moment? Moment is just one kshan, no? In just a moment. But in between those moments, something, one moment after one moment, there is no time gap here between one moment and another. In between that also, that Madhya Akasha, that is what is there in between that thing, from the drashta, the observer, and the drishya, the scenery, that thing, before that thing, that process of darshana, the process of that seeing completes, in between that thing, in between that sanyoga, that yoga sanyoga, that will happen. That in between that thing, that with that awareness which is there, is trying to tell us it's such a sukshma, it is such a subtle thing, it is purely beyond the perception of your indriyas, no? Because this process of seeing is happening at the level of your indriya, right? At the level of sense of sight. But it is in between that is that Chaitanya. So if you see it from the perspective of somebody who is in nidra, somebody is sleeping, and that point of time, if somebody wakes all the yogis, they do this, and in the middle of the night or in the Brahma Murta, they will get up and they will continue with their sadhana and they'll continue to meditate. That is in such a samadhi of that, such a calmness of your being, your being with yourself. That is where these yogis do get the sakshatkara. They do get the experience of such sakshatkara, such a Brahma. That is that where at that position, the external and internal, all the vasanas, all the cravings, sabahya, external, or abhyantara, inside, all these are become calm. No, that upasham, that peace of mind is being achieved in that avastha, in that Chintana Shunya Avastha. No, there is no thoughts process is going on. There is no process that is going on. In between that Shunya Avastha, that thing which is completely peaceful, that is which is completely divided up in sukha or dukkha. Happiness is not there, there is no sorrow. There is no spandana rahit. This spandana rahit, there is no vibration, there are no sankalpas and nikalpas. There is no that chanchal man, that past and future, going here and there wandering. That spandan, that vibration, which comes in the form of thought, that is not there, which is divide of this, like that one, that swarupa, that is the one that is called as satta samanya. Means it's sarva sadharan, it is there, which is there, it is there, omnipresence and omnipotent of that Chaitanya, that divine, which is there everywhere. Like this Purna Brahma, this complete Brahman, that if you see in this entire universe, that thing which is the adhara, which is the support of this entire universe, and because of this support, it is because of this presence of this Chaitanya, this universe seems to exist. So like that, it has come from the Purna, it has come from the completeness, and everything dissolves into that completeness. No? Om Puramadam Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Basically, it is the thing that comes out of the Purna, the completeness. No, that gets into the Purna. If you take something out of it, it will remain still complete. If you put something into it, it will still remain. 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 minus 0 is 0. 0. There is nothing. It just remains that shunyas. It remains that Purna completeness. No? In all the situation, it will just remain into that completeness of its thing. Such thing, such a Brahma, such a thing. Rama, such a Chinmaya Brahma Akash. If you see, it is there Sarvavap, it is there everywhere. Like this, it is here also, it is there also. In such a Akasha, anything is possible. No, your mind, you cannot imagine such things, Vichitra, miraculous, beyond the capacity of our mind to think, beyond the capacity of our intellect, beyond the capacity of your logic. It doesn't fit into your logic. Such thing happens, such thing exists into such Chaitanya, such a Brahma. So that's called as the Brahma Akash. So in this Brahma Akash, all these things are there. So it yet everything is there, yet it doesn't affect that Brahma Chaitanya. It's like that if there is a brand in the space, there are clouds, or if we see that the sky is blue, but that blueness of the sky or that clouds in the sky, that doesn't affect the Akasha, that space. It's unaffected by the existence of all these things. Like that Brahma Akasha, it doesn't get, it doesn't get distorted. It doesn't have any impressions of any sort on it, irrespective of everything else is that. Like that chit, like that consciousness, that this srishti, in this entire srishti, that is there as a Shobhayama, that is what is there everywhere. That is what is there everywhere. That is what is being explained here. So like that, the experience of that, he says, Rama, this, I have told you this story before also, that if somebody is seen in their dream and they get to experience something as an experience, like that mountains are there in the dream, etc., etc. But if they see the perspective of Chitta, it is the mind, it is imagining all these things, and in that all these rupas, all these things that they see in a dream, that Jagrat Avastha, that the moment they come into Jagrat Avastha, it just disappears. So it's the same thing with this. In that same Brahma Akasha, all these things appears to be there. The moment it sees, it just nothing is there. Like that. So like this Rama, there is very beautiful Pashana Akhyana. That Pashana Akhyana will tell you, get into the more details, more intricate details of such things. Let me tell you that. So it is full of all the Shrungara. There are so many different types of ras which are there, right? So there is a Shrungar ras, the beautifulness. There is this Vivitsaras, there is Gruna that is there. All these different, with these different rasas, with different emotions, this full life is filled with. So this, in this Pashanakya, it is so good. There are so many such things you'll get to see and get to learn out of it. So if you see it from the perspective of this Brahma, this Bhranti, such a disease of this Bhranti, this Aushadha, the medicine of that, are those different kathas, those different stories that I am going to tell you. And these things is not just a story as such. This is something which I have witnessed. I have seen it happening around. So that is something, that's the reason I will be able to tell you in detail. I'll put it in a very descriptive manner. So you will listen to this Pashanakya. So he says that one point of time, that after going through this, after attaining the Atmagana, that Veda Vigya, that Gatha, once upon a time, I was in complete ecstasy. I was in a complete bliss. I was in that Ati Santusht Ananda. So in such a state of that Santushti, in such a state of that Ananda, in such a state of that blissfulness, that thing, I got off like, what is it that I'm doing? What is it that I'm involved into all this routine, day-to-day worldly activities? Let me do something. Let me spend some time into the meditation. And like that, I went and I was in a search of a place where I'll be able to sit and meditate myself. So he started searching. So he went here and there, and he has searched for that space at various places, and there is a very descriptive varnan. There is a very descriptive text that comes here, that he goes to various places, he searched for the places in the mountains, he searched for the places in the forest, but he said at all the places there will one or other, there will be those wild animals that will come. If I go on the mountain, if I go into the caves, or still there will be those vayu that will keep making noise. Still there will be those megha garjanas, those clouds will come, and then there'll be that electrifying, that sound will come, that vij garjana, that garjana will come. And even if I go into the forest, the wild animals will keep on killing. Even the hunters, they will keep on killing the people. The birds will be there. So wherever I search the place, even if I go on the banks of the river, if I go on the banks of the ocean, still there is those waves that will keep striking. No? Still there will be that sound of the waves that will come. So when say I search for each and every place, I did not found. No, if there are some people around, then that place is not quite place for me to go into such a deep meditation. I want to do that. So then after leaving this planet Earth, this Srishti, this Brahmanda, this world, I went into the space. And in that space also, that if I thought that okay, I'll get some space here, but then I tell you, Rama, what is it that I saw? I saw in this Brahma Akasha, in this Chidakasha, no, this entire space, in that Hiranyagarbha, there were so many Brahmandas. So many different universes were there. Some of them were overlapping each other, some of them were parallel to each other, some of them were totally different than each other. No, so if you see that it's at the individual consciousness, at the level of this jiva, there is this Chittakasha that is created. And in this Chittakasha is present in the Chidakasha. That Chidakasha, there are so many such Chittakashas that present. So he says that I have seen so many such Brahmandas. I have seen so many. I have seen that, and then there also I see so many different types of universes, and their science, their vijnana, their dharma, their way of behavior, where completely where some of them were like that we see on the planet Earth in this Brahmanda, in this Bhuloka, and some of them were completely different. Some of them were only occupied with all the gods, some of them were completely occupied with all the men, some of them were occupied with men and women, some of them were occupied with all the daityas only, some of them had only pishach, those bhoot ghosts only, some of them were occupied with yakshas, gandharvas. At some places those this nrityangana, those paris, those, what we call that, those paris were there, all these apsaras were there, no? All these nrityangana. So he's telling that many such things. At some things, some places even I saw they had many hands, they had many heads. No? Some of them were headless, some of them were just did not have anything, some of them did not have these five senses and its body only, some of them were existed only at the level of Sukshma Deha. Like the ghosts, they are adrisha, they are just at the level of that Sukshma Deha, subtle body is what they travel. So he says that I have seen some people were walking up, down, no, their legs were there in the space and they were walking. So like this, he says that I have seen n number of such things happening into different Brahman. He says that there were thousands of Vishnus that I saw who were taking care of those Brahmandas. I saw so many 100 Brahmas. I saw so many 100 Rudras over there who were taking care of all such situations, into all such Brahmandas. So see, we many times see that, okay, there are aliens, and that question mark comes into picture. Look at this imagination, look at these things. Vaashishtha, that point of time when these scriptures are written, that point of time Vaashishtha said that I traveled like this and I saw all this. So he said even there also I did not find a space where I can go and meditate. So finally I left all that also behind, and then I went into the complete Chidakasha. I just become into the Shia. I find one corner, and at that corner I went and I settled down. I created a small, in the space of Akasha itself, I created that kuti for myself, the place for me to stay. And in that place, in that Akasha, I sat in a, I sat in a Padmasana, and in Padmasana, I just closed my eyes and I started going into deeper and deeper meditation. And like this, I went into very, very deep meditation. And like this, that Sankalpa was there that I have to go for 100 years. I want to experience that meditation for 100 years. And like that, I went to very, very deep state of meditative state of mind for the 100 years. And after that 100 years are passed, then I just came out of that meditation, because that was my Satya Sankalpa. So I just happened to came out of that meditation. And then at a far place there, that is where I saw there is this Madhura Dhvani, that somebody was singing something, and I just could not even listen to the exact words of that. And then to look for that, I just happened to look around. But when I looked around that point of time, I did not saw anything, because something, if you are there in your body consciousness, is try to look something from your drishti, you will not find that thing. So then what I did, I just happened to drop all these layers of my existence. So here, and then while telling this, when I came out of that meditation, that thing, that Chaitanya Sanchar, that Chaitanya happened in me. And then that Aham Bhav also came, because to operate this body, that Aham Bhav, that separateness from the Chaitanya has to be there. So that Aham Bhavna came into me, and then I completely become into Jagrutasthana. That is where Rama asked this question that, hey Bhagwan, you just now said that that Aham Bhavna came into you. But I, as I have perceived you, you are Atmagami, you are Brahmagami, and such a thing who is son of Brahmadeva, Manasputra, the son of Brahmadeva, in them, how come this iota of this Aham is still there? How come that arised in you? And if that arised you, then how come you remain Atmagani, Brahmagani? No, Rama is very catchy. So he is very curious. He is very keen observer of what is being said here. And whenever he has a question, he put forward such questions to Vaashishtha Muni. This is where Vaashishtha Muni starts addressing to Rama. He says that, look, that if we see it from the perspective of this creation of the world and the pralaya of this world, that is, how does that Aham Bhavana comes into picture? If the Chaitanya is the only thing that exists, then there is no Vaashishtha, there is no Rama, there is nobody, there is nothing that exists over there, right? It is just that Chaitanya. So if in that Chaitanya, that feeling of separateness does not arise, then that Chidakash does not come into picture. If that Chidakash does not come into picture, Chitta does not come into picture. Chitta does not come into picture. All the Chitta and its form, your logic, buddhi, smriti, your memory, your intellect, all your mind, all this thing does not come into picture. And then your physical embodiment that you express using the prana and the five senses, this body, that also does not come into picture. So it's the first thing that comes into picture is that feeling of separateness from the original. So unless until that is there, again, I would have remained in that meditative state only. So now to come back, and if I have to come back into that, my Satya Sankalpa was only to remain in that state for 100 years. And if I have to come back from that state, that Aham Bhavana was necessary. But then that but comes into picture. It is not that it has overridden me. It is not that Aham Bhavana has overtaken me. It was only and only that thing which was only to make me Jagrut, only to make me aware about thing. That's all. That was the only role of that Aham Bhavana that was there. After that, that Aham Bhavana never got turned into any identities. That Aham Bhavana never got turned into any Ahankaras. That Aham Bhavana never turned into any on either side. I am hopeless, I am thing, or I am something superior. Neither superior complex nor any inferior complex. It did not go into any such the vikaras, in such distortions. It just came, it just made me Jagrut, and that's all. After that, it remained as if it is not there. It is as if just like this body is there, and as if the Jivan Mukta continue to operate, continue to do all the actions yet devoid of any karma, they devoid of any impressions forming into their chitta. Like that, this aham bhavana just came, and then after that it played its role, it made me jagrut, and that's all. After that it diminished. So this is how that even though your ego is there, ego sense is there, one can still be egoless, ego senseless. Despite of it is having, it is like that chitta nasha or ahankar nasha or ego nasha doesn't mean that that particular element of your astitva is completely removed from the self. If it is removed, then you are no longer there. Then you are not visible, you are gone. No, that is not there means you are completely not there at all, right? So if it has to be there, then this astitva star has to be there. But what will happen? That chitta nasha means what will happen? That chitta will not be destroyed. It will still remain, but it will leave behind other qualities such as rajoguna, tamas guna, and it will get back into the sattva guna. That ahankar will be there, but it will not get into any sort of complex, either upside or downside. It will just remain into that. It will not carry any one, it will not carry any multiple identities. It will just into that bhava. That thing is that one chaitanya, one awareness, one consciousness. It will remain into that atma bhava only all the time. So that is the aham bhavana. Tattvamasi. No, soham, tattvamasi. I am that. That thing will remain there. That awareness will remain there. That chaitanya will remain there. So it has to be there. Otherwise, then how can the things learn? So says it's despite of it is being there, yet you can remain alive, yet you can do everything, but divide of any bad effects, divide of any contrary effects of that. That is how the Vaashishtha Muni answers to Rama. Then he says that now to go ahead and search for that voice, that sound that was coming. And I started looking at from the perspective of my Panchendriya at the level of my body. I did not find anybody. So what I did then, I just started dissolving myself, and I dissolved and dissolved and dissolved and become the Chidakasha again. So I dissolved everything of my existence. I just remain like an Akasha. So it's like in a meditative state, we focus on the outer world. Annamaya kosha, we drop that, we accept that. We focus on your body, we focus on your breath, we accept that. We focus on your manomaya kosha, mind, we accept that. Automatically all these things are there, but yet for you it is dissolving. You are free from that. They no longer trouble you. Then you go into vijnanaya kosha, you observe your emotions, you accept that. And then after that you become free from that also. You enter into the blissful state of your being. And then after that, Gurudev expands our chitta. And then he expands our chitta and we become, how that expansion happens, that blissful state happens. Like that, Vaashishtha Muni has expanded himself and he formed the just the Swarupa of Chiddakash. So he says that in such a Chiddakash, when I just formed, in that point of time, then I could see everything. I saw everything, whatever we just saw. He saw many Brahmandas, many universes, and we saw many miraculous things happening over there. He just saw, because now he is above all that. So like that, he saw there is this one beautiful lady that came across, and that she was singing the glory of that Vaashishtha. That it is that thing what you are singing, that it is you are that one which is divide of all these vikaras, which is divide of all these things. And because she was singing the glory of the divine, and Vaashishtha become the divine, right? Chidakash, it's become the divine now. So he looked at her, but there were no reaction, there were no response. And he did not got flattered with that appreciation, with that glory, and neither did he had any type of feeling towards that thing. And he just happened to continue on his marga, whatever he wanted to. He just kept on looking all that. So like that, he sees that, hey Rama, in such a universe, it is beyond the words. It is beyond that words and its meaning. It is beyond that words and its meanings and its form. No, that all these many such Brahmandas, many such universe that does exist, many of them just popping up like a bubble in the ocean, and they just destroy. Like that, it's all happening. I saw many such possibilities in this universe, and it's all because of that one single consciousness, because of that one single Chaitanya. That is where we conclude these chapters, Pashana, Akhyan, story number 1 and 2. And then we'll look at, there are around 10, 11 stories, different stories. So today we stop 2 of them. And the Saram, that summary of those stories. I'd like to hand over this session to all of you. If you have any questions, you are welcome to ask that. If you would like to express yourself, your takeaways from today's session, you are welcome to do that. Unmute option is being made available to you. You will be able to unmute yourself and speak. Over to you all. Jai Gurudev. If there are no contributions or no questions, then we'll conclude our today's session. We'll meet tomorrow. Jai Gurudev. रमा जी, आप कुछ कहना चाहती है? Please go ahead.
भैया वो पॉइंट एक बार फिर से एक्सप्लेन कीजिए ना, जो वशिष्ठ मुनि ने बोले राम जी को कि टू मेक मी ओनली जागरूक अवस्था में आने के लिए वो खाली अहंग भाव था, और वो कैसे वो अपने आप को डिसॉल्व कर दिया, इस पॉइंट को एक बार फिर से एक्सप्लेन कीजिए.
श्योर रमा जी. तो यहाँ पे राम जी का प्रश्न क्या था कि जो अहंकार जो होता है, राम एक्चुअली अहंकार समझ रहे हैं. अहंकार में और अहम भावना में थोड़ा अंतर है. अहंकार माने क्या? सुपेरियरिटी कॉम्प्लेक्स, that I am somebody superior than somebody. That is called as ahankara. And on the other side, that I am inferior, I am hopeless. Inferiority complex. तो बोलते अहंकार जब उत्पन्न हो जाता है या इंफेरियर कॉम्प्लेक्स जब उत्पन्न हो जाता है, तो फिर आप अपने सेंटर से अहम जो होता है उससे हट जाते हो. तो बोलते ये तो विकार हो गए. ये तो अहंकार और इंफेरिटी कॉम्प्लेक्स से तो विकार हो गए, आपके ईगो के विकार हो गए. तो विकार तो नहीं ही है, लेकिन अस्तित्व के स्तर में रहने के लिए तो अपना एक अहम तो होने की आवश्यकता होती है ना. अगर अहम है ही नहीं तो फिर क्या, फिर कैसे कोई. तो हर हाँ, तो जीव भाव धारण करने के लिए एक अहम की आवश्यकता होती है. बोलते वो अहम ही, अहम माने क्या? मैं हूं और मैं उससे सेपरेट हूं. ये फीलिंग असलियत में है नहीं सेपरेट, जस्ट फीलिंग. तो वो फीलिंग गलत होनी आवश्यक है टू एक्सप्रेस योरसेल्फ एज अ डिफरेंट इंडिविजुअल. नो, टू कम इनटू दिस जागृत अवस्था, to get the your own chittakash get formed into that chidakash,
then duality comes.
Then what we call as reality, asliat mein reality hai hi nahi. It's imaginary that is happening. It's a maya because it's happening in the chidakash. Chidakash is that chittakash of the divine, and whatever happens in the chittakash, is that real? It's not real, right? But in that also, as you see in your chittakash, in your swapna, some being, some object, some vyakti, right? You see some characters. Are they real? No. But it's in your chittakash, like that in the chidakash, to form that chittakash come into picture, and in that chittakash, it imagines there is sun, there is earth. These are all vastus, physical matter, vastus. Then it assumes that all the things that universe, Panchamahabhuta, all these things comes into picture. And then in that, there is this someone comes into picture who assumes the Jiva Bhava. Again, the same Chaitanya assumes the separate Jiva Bhava, like Someshwar, Rama. Then I have my own Chitta. Ramaji have her own Chitta. I have my own Aham. Ramaji have her own Aham. Right? Now, to get me into Someshwar, or as become a Jiva Bhava, or Ramaji to become Jiva Bhava, both have felt separated from the Brahman.
Yes.
That feeling of separation, that Aham Bhavana came into picture. If that Aham Bhavana is not there, then you have become with the Brahman. You become Brahman then.
Yes.
You become, right? So that Aham Bhava. So if Vaashishtha Muni has to continue on this journey to go ahead from where the sound is coming, he has to get out of that meditative state of mind and become into Vaashishtha, comes into Vaashishtha Muni's individual consciousness. And how that will happen without Aham Bhavana? It is impossible.
Yes.
It is impossible, right? So he says that I came to that, but it never became an ahankara. It never came over. I still remain into that I am that one. That bhavana was still there. That I am that one. I am the one. That was there. That I am that Brahman. That was still there. So that aham was still there. But after that, he started looking his the five senses towards that dhvani which was came. He did not find anyone. So to now find out where that dhvani is coming from, he again travels back and he becomes the Chidakasha again. Was it possible? No, by dropping all the levels of existence just to remain. Physical body is not disappeared. It's there.
Yes.
Meditation. In meditation, your physical body is still there. Yet you can travel via your subtle body at the level of chitta. That is what he does. That is how he explained to Rama that it's not that it's your death.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can still let that aham bhava be there, yet not affecting you, not translate into any identities, not translate into any ahankaras. Let it be there. It's okay because it is a part of your existence. And if it is not, then you don't exist.
To become egoless, then we should be state in that state of mind. No? To become egoless.
It is just a state of mind, but yet ahankara will still be there. In the subtle form, it will be there, but not affecting you, not translate it into ahankara. Because in ahankara, you'll do mistakes.
Yes. Vikara will come. All the vikaras will come.
All the vikaras will come. But the one who is just established into that aham, vikaras will not affect you.
Yes. Is that Chidakasha, Bhaiya?
That Chidakasha is the Akasha of the, is the space, Akasha of the divine, of the Brahman, Shiva, or that thing which we do not know. That also has to express somewhere, no? So that also needs a space. So it first express itself, it is beyond the chitta, nothing was there. When nothing of this Pancha Mahabhuta, Pancha Tanmatra, nothing is there. At that time, it is just that Chidakasha. It is just that element. It's not even 5 element, one of 5 element, nothing like that. It is just that divides. We can't even call that space. It's just for our understanding. We say it as a Chidakasha. Chida means that's Satta, Chitta. That thing which we do not know. Atman, Paramatma, Shiva, Brahma, whatever that is. That thing we call it as a Chidakasha. So that is there first. In that, to express itself, it forms the Chitta. Now the Chitta is of the divine. Chittakasha, that is called a Chidakasha. And in that Chidakasha now, all the individual consciousness, like the being like you, me, or the non-living beings, sun, earth, moon, all the planets, or all the other Milky Ways, all this thing that comes into picture, it happens in the Chidakasha. And then we as a living being have our own Brahman. That is
we have different persons have different Jivakash.
That's called a Chittakash. Yes. Instead of Akash, it's called Chittakash. Chittakash. It's into Chidakash. There are so many Chittas. My Chitta is different. Mamaji's Chitta is different. Aksaji's Chitta is different. So many different Chittakash.
Okay.
And that exists in the Chidakasha.
Thank you, Bhaiya. To the clear Chidakasha and Chittakasha meaning.
Yeah. So these
very
are all
interesting. Very interesting.
So there are these 3 Akashas. One is the Bhu Akasha, the one which you observe your physical body, that is called as Bhu Akasha. Then the next one is the Chitta Akasha. And then the third one is the Chidakasha. So these are the 3 different types of Akashas. Yeah, so Chitta Nasha. Nasha means Chitta. Chitta means your combination of your memory, intellect, and your ego. Combined together, it's called a Chitta. Now, what we mean by Chitta Nasha means not the complete destruction of it, rather it is transformation. from transformation from the rajas and tamasic guna
to
sattvic guna. So it is the transformation of your chitta is what is called as, we say, chittanasha. Chitta means it is that, and there is a difference between, there are three words. First word is chitta, CHITT, chitta. Chitta means the combination of your mind, intellect,
memory,
and your ego combined together becomes your chitta, CHITT, chitta. Other than that, there is something called as chit, CHIT. The t is ardha, आधा त, तलवार का जो त है वो आधा है, चित्त है, डबल चित्त नहीं है, चित्त
हलंत है,
हलंत है, वो चित्त माने वो डिविनिटी। तो बोलते हैं हम लोग सदचित आनंद, वो चित्त में वो चित्त नहीं है, सदचित आनंद ना, इट इज दैट सत्य की बात हो रही है, जस्ट दैट चित्त की बात हो रही है, चित्त की बात नहीं हो रही है। तो वह चित्त वो अलग है, वो चित्त माने चैतन्य वाला चित्त। चैतन्य में क्या बोलते, चैतन्य वर्ड कहाँ से आएगा, चित्त का जो, हाँ, चित्त से चैतन्य आया, तो वो चैतन्य वाला चित्त वो अलग है चित्त से। और तीसरा जो होता है वो चैत्य होता है। चैत्य माने क्या, अपने आप से अलग हुई फीलिंग, और जो अहंकार का ईगो सेंस का भावना आया, और वो स्फुरण जो उठा, कुछ करने की लालसा, विषय जहां पे पिक्चर में आ गया, एक स्फुरण उठ गया, वो उसको बोलते चैत्य। इट्स नॉट चित्त, इट्स नॉट चित्त, इट्स कॉल्ड चैत्य। तो सबसे पहले क्या आता है, चैत्य आता है। चैत्य से चित्त आता है। चित्त को ही फिर मन बोलते हैं, बिकॉज वो मनन करता है, और उसी को फिर बुद्धि बोलते हैं, उसी को फिर अहंकार बोलते हैं, उसी को फिर, ये सारी चीजें ऐसे चित्त में ही उत्पन्न होती है सारी चीज।
भैया ये सब उत्पत्ति प्रकरण में भी था, ये सब वशिष्ठ
ये डिटेल में वर्णन किया है,
डिटेल में था।
हाँ हाँ, जब उत्पत्ति प्रकरण
भैया हमारा बंगाली में एक गाना है, আমার चेतना चैतन्य करे दाव मां आनंद हुई, मतलब चेतना को चैतन्य बना दो, दैट मीन्स चित्त को चैत्य बना दो।
हाँ, तो एक ही है, वो दोनों भी
कॉन्शसनेस बना।
बिल्कुल।
हर एक आदमी का अंदर में जो चेतना है, कॉन्शसनेस है, उसको चैतन्य बनाता, मतलब उसको सबके माने चैतन्य मीन्स चित्त,
इंडिविजुअल को एक बना दो,
एक बना दो।
हाँ,
बंगाली में एक माँ काली के लिए एक गाना है, আমার चेतना चैतन्य करे दाव माँ आनंदमयी।
हाँ बिल्कुल,
बहुत अच्छा गाना है।
बिल्कुल, बहुत अच्छा।
पहले नहीं, इसका मीनिंग नहीं समझती थी मैं, लेकिन अभी जब जैसे जो वशिष्ठ सुन रही है ना, तब से चित्त, चिदाकाश, चैत्य, इस सब का डिफरेंस धीरे धीरे समझ में आ रहा है।
वेरी नाइस, फैंटास्टिक, अमेजिंग। विल टेक अ पॉज हियर। आज के सत्र को हम लोग यहीं पे समापन करते हैं। जय गुरुदेव।
जय गुरुदेव।
जय